right, we will call the meeting to order. Is there any additions or corrections to the presented agenda that you have?
There are no additions.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Is there a motion to approve?
Brian approves. Brian makes the motion, sorry.
Yeah. Rich will second that motion. And all in favor say aye. Rich, yes. Tina?
It's Sarah.
Yeah.
It's really loud, whatever you have going on.
Now it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich was yes on the agenda adoption. Tina?
Yep, sorry, I couldn't get off mute. I had
No, it's
both on.
okay. Sarah?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
All right, motion passed. Minutes from December 16th. Any questions or concerns?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made and second. All in favor say aye. Rich, yes. Tina?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Motion's passed. Monthly financial reports. Ryan, anything need to be explained?
Hey, Sarah, I think you have to go on mute. There's some really weird background noise that comes from yours. And Ryan, you are on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry.
We didn't hear anything you said, Ryan.
Sorry about that. The of significance, the only ones are the CEDA for professional services for $3,522.17. There's an abatement payment, $5,698.85. And that was from Fund 262 to Fund 403. And then there's the final Grover Auto loan payment. That was a loan out for $13,617.94. Total disbursements are $23,874.14. You'll see that under column J. And we still have $96,758.10 in outstanding loan payment for loans.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Ryan? If not, do we have a motion to approve the accounts payable?
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable and financial report.
I'll second that. This is Tina.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Rich, yes. Tina?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Thank you. Brian?
Aye.
Okay, public hearings, none. Visitors to the board, none. Old business, A, Blandon Foundation.
No action requested at this time. I'm still trying to find individuals interested. As of this past month, especially those in the business community are more concerned about this next round of relief and getting their businesses through what is normally a slow point in business, like the business time, but with the pandemic, it's hitting them even harder.
Yeah.
If I could say, we did have a Zeba meeting yesterday, and they did talk about it there.
Oh, good.
It sounds to me like some of them might be interested. I told them that it's coming at some point. I looked at the website yesterday and they haven't scheduled anything yet because of COVID. So I don't know when the next time is going to be. Hopefully they'll be able to do the next one. But anyway,
Yeah,
Ziba, the downtown group is still talking about it.
I think the applications for 2021, they're always a year ahead, I thought it was April. Wasn't that what was on the website, Ryan?
Yes.
April 1st. So and that's for 2022, sorry, not this year, next year. So the applications are always due a year ahead of the program.
Okay, anything else? All right, it doesn't take any action, I assume. So old business B is the ZM EDA collaboration, and I don't have anything new to update on that. So it's, we're still thinking about it, and obviously I'm sure Michelle is still thinking about it, but I'll keep the board informed as we go forward. New business, election of officers. Need to elect officers for president, vice president, treasurer, and assistant treasurer. What are your wishes?
I would like to nominate Rich to continue in the role of president.
I'll second that nomination.
All right, thank you. I'm willing to do that. I guess I'd certainly encourage others to take over if you so desire, but I would nominate Lindsay. Can we do these all at once? Slate?
Yep.
Okay, I'll nominate Lindsay Rash to be vice chair or vice president.
I will second that.
Okay, and then we need treasurer. I will nominate Brian for that position.
I'll second that because I was just going to do that as well.
All right, assistant treasurer, nominations?
Who else is left? It's not Sarah or I. Can we? I don't know if we can.
Dave Starr is also available.
Perfect. Done. I nominate Dave Starr.
Okay, I will second that. So we have our slate of officers. Then motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Rich, yes. Tina?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, new commissioner request. Ryan, do you want to talk about this or?
Yes. Ms. Danny, I believe her last name is pronounced Dufresne. I'm not exactly sure. I was communicating with her via email. She was interested in serving on one of the boards, and the available boards that we have are the Pork Board and the EDA. She said that she would more likely to she would like to participate with the EDA. And so I believe she lives on 1295 East Avenue, and she works in Wanamingo.
I know her. She'd do a good job.
Oh, excellent.
Isn't there like a application or something something that they fill out typically? Is that not correct? Not an application, but like a bio, something about why they want to serve. I don't know. I thought we had
Yes.
some process
In
like
your packet on page 14 is her letter of intent.
So if someone's interested, Ryan, all they really need to do is write a letter of interest, and they don't need to fill out any kind of a bio sheet or anything like that?
We don't, as far as I know, we don't have one. Previously we've been using letters of intent, stated letter of interest, and then we take that to the respective boards for recommendations to the city council.
Okay, so we need a recommendation from this board to the city council to appoint her to the EDA?
Yes,
Sure,
and that is to fill. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, that is to fill out the rest of the Bill Eberhard or this new or this vacant position because it's for 6 years, a 6-year term.
Okay,
Does
I'll
she
make
know
that.
for 6 years?
I let her know that it would be for a 6-year term and that
Okay.
each meeting is at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays of the third Wednesday of the month. And she's perfectly fine with that.
Great. I would make the recommendation to City Council to appoint her to the board.
okay, we have a motion for a recommendation for Danny. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and second to recommend Danny Dufuse
Dufresne.
Dufresne
Yep.
to fill the vacant EDA position for the next 6 years. All in favor, say aye. Rich is aye. Tina?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Motion's passed. Okay, Ryan, you'll reach out to her and let her know that she should start next month?
Yes.
Okay. All right, new reports, future land use. Ryan, I'm assuming it's your court?
Yes. And I believe Brian will be able to help me out with this one as he was doing a lot of the interactions with landowners. So we were looking at one particular piece of land out on the northwest side of the city, on the opposite side of Highway 58. But the landowner, the interested business decided to go to locate in Goodhue. And then, so without that interested business owner wanting to locate, then there wasn't any more pressure for the city to find land right now this spring. So working with the landowner currently wants no less than $28,000 an acre. And so we're still trying to find comparables. At first he wanted $34,000 an acre, but he's just not very motivated to sell at this moment. We're also looking at other areas that we could develop and speaking with other landowners. So Brian, if you have anything to add.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been a great little manufacturing business to have in town. The owner is wonderful. But it comes down to, again, we didn't have land ready. Trying to pull this together so quick on his time schedule was tough. Ultimately, Goodhue was able to have a chunk of land, and they threw in some things. I think they're going to pay for a road and things like that. Those are things that we would not be able to do given the land prices we were getting around here. So yeah, like Ryan said, we're on the search. I'm going to call owners in the area, landowners, just to gauge interest, and hopefully we can get something put together to get some shovel-ready lots in an industrial park area. So when these things come up, we can move on it a little quicker. I think the gentleman, the business owner, I got the sense he kind of wanted to try to come here because he kept calling me every few days, and yeah, we just couldn't put it together quick enough. Plus we're a little leery of the land price. That we were dealing with. Maybe it'll turn out that the price that is being asked is right on. We tend to think it's pretty high at this point. But this gives us, like Ryan said, the pressure's off, can breathe a little bit, kind of step back and make sure we're doing things, in the best interest of the city, as far as getting some appraisals and trying to figure out exactly where land prices should be. But yeah, we're not going to sit still on it. We're gonna try to get something going sooner than later on industrial park, and 4, 5, 6 lots ready to go. So.
Okay, any good questions? Comments?
I have a question. Rich, this is Tina. Do we, Brian, foresee utilizing the dollars that we have set aside once some land is identified to kind of start that process? Is that the
Yes. Yep. Ideally.
thought?
Yep, ideally, that's the way we would go, with this big purchase that we were looking at or trying to put together. We were gonna have to do some bonding on that. We're figuring out how to make those payments and not get the city into a spot where where the economy tanks and we're stuck with a bunch of land that we're, paying for many years. So,
Right.
yeah, I think we'll start small with an option to buy more land and try and use what we've got. We'll work with the EDA on that, and see, how far we can get, how many lots we can put together just to get things going. And of course, it helps a lot once you get something in there, to kind of cash flow things. But yes, the long answer to your short question is yes. We want to use the available dollars.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to B, available land or grants, available grants.
Yes. So next month is the annual meeting of the EDA, and there I'll present the 2020 annual report and the 2021 work plan. In preparation for the work plan, welcoming any recommendations and priorities that any of the board members may have. I know, for example, right now, personally for me, the helping out the business community, especially with this latest round of relief, is a top priority, and so is childcare. That has actually, it has not gone away, and it's actually gotten even more pertinent in order to help people find childcare, especially if they're now trying to juggle working from home, new working situation, and the whole gamut of everything that everybody's going through at this time. But attached into this packet, you'll see a list of grants throughout the state of Minnesota. If you peruse those, and if you see if it brings to mind any projects that we can add to our current list, or any other priorities that we could then leverage these grants for, I'm welcoming all ideas from the EDA, so that way we can get it included into the work plan.
Okay. Any questions for Ryan? All right, thank you. New business C or report C, this County 168 Boulevard.
Yes, and so this is just south of the Atlas Cold Store where the Schwann's is. Their distribution facility out there, just south of that, on the south side of that county road. That's within the city, and approximately 10 acres has been sold by the landowner to a business owner wanting to build a recycling center. The new owner has submitted a development request to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a rezone from highway commercial to industrial. So we will be working with the landowner and with the Planning and Zoning Commission to make sure that any foreseeable adverse issues are mitigated, and so that way this becomes a benefit to the city. One of the things that we already know offhand is that some of the infrastructure is going to need to be brought back up to standard. A lot of it's been sitting for a number of decades and is kind of dilapidated. So we'll be working with the new landowner, business owner, on updating that, as well as working with the Planning and Zoning Commission on any other foreseeable issues.
Is this, Ryan or Brian, is this the business that you guys been kind of dealing with for the past few months? They're coming to town now?
No.
Yes.
Well,
No.
no, not the
sorry.
big. The big one is the one that's going to go to Goodhue or stay in Goodhue.
Oh, really?
This is a recycling center, possibly. He requested from planning earlier on to use the old lantern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
And then this land came up for sale, and he jumped right on it and is moving along. The water infrastructure issues Ryan is talking about also plays into our water looping project.
Yeah.
And land cost, or the price of land, also plays into that, because where we were hoping to loop it would have been where a road would have been in an industrial park, if we could have made that work. So now if we have to pay a ton of money for an easement, we're contemplating just going down the right of way, which would go right next to this land that Ryan's talking about and allow us to to make it a little easier on that owner to redo the infrastructure on that chunk. And we wouldn't have to buy an easement at this time. Whether that's in the best interest in the long term of the city, we're still debating that. And we have to see what this other landowner wants price-wise for an easement to see. There could be a $60,000 to $100,000 difference in the looping project, depending on what the landowner wants for an easement. So we're still weighing those options, but that kind of all ties together.
So, but the looping would be a benefit. This is something that the city has wanted to do or needed to do for a long time.
Yeah, we need the redundancy out there for the whole area, but mostly for the cold store. If they lose water, then they lose cooling, and then we have a lot of ice cream to eat quickly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's going to happen one way or the other, but the routing could go, a different way than we've been anticipating, depending on the current landowner we're working with. So, and there's other options there. We were going to buy an easement wide enough for a road, 80 feet, I think was the right of way we were going to buy. For just the pipe going through, we could buy a 20-foot easement, which would save dollars as well right now, especially since we don't foresee developing that area real soon.
So when you say you buy an easement, you're actually buying the property, or are you buying just permission to put the utilities in, and you don't really own the property?
Right. Yep. Yes, we would do a 20-foot easement, and then we would also pay some for loss of crops for that area for a year.
But the ownership would be the city's.
Yeah, we would own the pipe underneath and the rights to work on that through that easement. Yep.
Okay. Anything else, either Ryan or Brian?
No.
Questions?
No.
I have a question. This is Tina, as usual. Do we have like a plat map of this area, like what we're planning for development out there, where this is going? Because I think for me, trying to figure out where 168 is. Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
goes out to
I
cold
will
store.
bring it.
But I think that would be helpful in the packet, maybe.
Yes, I will. Brian, can you make me the presenter and I can show you off my screen here?
Yep.
Okay, can everybody see this?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the land that was sold here. Can you see my pointer,
No.
my cursor? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Atlas Cold Store to the north, just on the west side of 52. Directly to the south of that looks like a little, kind of like it ends in a point. It's like a long triangle, like arrowhead.
Yep.
That's the 10 acres that was just sold. So right now we're working with the engineer on whether if we should bring the water main up along the right of way of Highway 52, or for a little bit to the west, along between two other parcels that could open, make more land available for access to that water main, which would help businesses in the future if it develops. But it would also be more expensive. So we'd have to weigh the costs and benefit versus if something were to develop sooner, then it would be an even more benefit, an even greater benefit. But if it would just sit there, then the city would be purchasing expensive land for an easement and putting in more water main pipe just for not as much for the same amount of benefit as we could get for putting it along the right of way.
Sure. So where is the proposed industrial park then? Behind cold store or behind that piece of property that lines the highway that was just sold, that 10 acres? Oh, so these two parcels
We're
right here in the
looking
middle.
at, yes.
Got it.
Tina, we were looking at the big one, well, the one that was annexed in that Ryan's on right now.
Yep.
We were looking at that one and then the big chunk over next to it. That all belongs to one gentleman, that one. And this was gonna be, we were looking at buying 58 acres possibly. Because the manufacturing business wanted 20 acres. And then the land price was going down based on how many acres we were supposed to. So this whole thing was our vision. But you're also correct, and where we're looking now is we're gonna go meet with.
To the north.
We're gonna go meet with Keith Bruning about that land that you talked about too.
Which is that right there, that parcel behind.
Yep, the one Ryan highlighted now.
Holy
You know, we'd start out on the road and buy some of that, and then have an option to buy some more. That's really flat. That's a little easier to develop, a little cheaper to develop as well. So, but there's a little bit of a strained relationship between the Brunings and the city of Zimbrota. So,
Okay, we'll go patch it up.
yep, that's what Ryan and I will do that. So, because
Okay.
yeah, ultimately this is a nice chunk there, but
Awesome.
and then I don't know, Ryan, do we want to go into the overpass? Did you talk about that?
Yes.
So-
Yes.
This is something that the Planning and Zoning Commission will have to weigh. There's a plan, so we know that MnDOT is planning at some point in the future, and we have no idea when, but there will be an overpass extending from 445th Street, just as it goes past the Covered Bridge Restaurant, extending
Right.
over 52, and then landing somewhere around halfway through this parcel. So you can kind of see where there's an access here. It will likely land right around there. So we're gonna have to deal with access for this parcel at some point in the future. And we're gonna have to work with the county and the state on that. We don't know when there will be an overpass, but we know that it's in the plans.
Yep, and then the new owner of that land, the land that Ryan's on now, the new owner is well aware of that. And Bill Angerman is going to speak with Greg Isaacson of Goodhue County
Mhm.
To talk about access, and then they'll bring in Heather Lukes from the state to talk about future things as well. But you know, right now it'll work out okay for the new owner. With access, theoretically, he can have access right onto the county, the 10-ton road there, but it's going to go away at some point, and there'll have to be another access probably through the adjacent land.
So this overpass projected, that's not going to be an off-ramp or on-ramp, it's just an overpass?
Right, not an interchange, just an overpass. Yep.
So at least connect it to town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have that there, but it's going to be a mess for the for the gentleman that bought this chunk, or it could be, unless we head it off. That's why we want to kind of help him head it off right now and get a plan in place moving forward.
So if it's on the state plan, then there has to be a timeline to it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
so it's on the
seven.
state. It's on the state plan, but they haven't mapped it yet.
How do we move that up on their list?
Well, that's what we're going to start with Greg Isaacson, and then Bill Angerman has a good relationship with Heather Lukes as well. So we're gonna talk to both of them. Heather is the state highway. Well, I can't remember what her title is, but she does design. So
Great.
This maybe is a stupid question, but, and it's projected obviously in the way in the future, but if they put that overpass there, and this is developed where we want to put more of an industrial park, aren't we going to put back all those trucks that they're trying to avoid having in Jefferson? Aren't people going to go back up over the bridge, back down Jefferson, get back out on the interchange as opposed to going all the way around and coming in on 60 like they do now? You know what I mean?
well, hopefully, it's a lot slower going through town. It's shorter, but they're going to travel a lot slower. So hopefully they'll keep going out around.
And it's a truck route now, so it must be a 10-ton rated road, right?
Yeah, I guess it is, but I guess it seems like there's always been rumblings by the people that live along Jefferson and stuff that we don't want these trucks coming up all the way up to, is 4th Street, isn't it?
5th Street.
5th Street,
Take back
take
on.
the right and get out on the highway.
Yep.
That's, I think, kind of why they put that other road in, to get them all onto the interchange right away and not really coming into town at all.
Yes, yeah, and that's a good point, because as we design Jefferson or our part of Jefferson up there, we're going to need to think about that.
Yep.
Yep. Right now, County 168 leads down to 60. That would be faster for any truck traffic, so we'd have to work on that traffic management plan to make sure that they stick to or adhere to going on County 168.
Mhm.
That's interesting, and this really helps me to see it on a map like this too.
Yeah, but we've got concept plans for both areas, multiple concept plans for future possibilities, so.
Hey, Brian, while you're up there, because I have a question, can you, and it's on my screen, can you make me the presenter?
Oh,
So
sure.
it goes hand in hand with this, what Ryan's showing.
There you go. I got it.
Oh, you can give it away?
Yes.
Give
Pass
your
the baton.
power.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so you're seeing my screen?
Yes.
So my question, because I was out here the other day looking for something, why is Broda not have a parcel viewer link on the Goodhue County GeoHub website?
I was speaking with Neil about this last year when he was still with the city. He said that the county wanted each municipality to provide like $10,000 to $25,000 to host a parcel viewer for each city, but we already get the services and the ability to go just by going through the county. So he said his reasoning at that time was, why pay so many thousands of dollars to get its individualized parcel viewer when we can just go through the county's parcel viewer and get the same effects?
So Wanamingo paid $25,000 to put a tile here to get to theirs quicker, because I'm telling you, to go through the Goodhue County one, it takes a while to get to the parcel that you're looking for. So I'm just saying, if people are out looking for development parcels, they're going to go to 6 other communities before they go into Goodhue County and find Zumbrota and look for ours, versus why wouldn't I go right to Wanamingo? It's right here. Oh, look, it just threw me right into their what they have. That makes sense.
I'll talk to Michael just to see what the reasoning was, or maybe there's more capability within the individual links. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just go into the Goodhue County one and zoom in to Zumbrota. But yeah, I'll talk to Michael to see the wisdom behind spending the dollars to have the link on there.
All right, that was my question for today.
Okay. Any other new business or reports, Ryan?
Not at this time.
Do we have any kind of an update on General or Dollar General?
I have not heard. I'll be reaching out today to their district manager. The last she had told me was back in December. She said they wanted to have a grand opening at the beginning of the year, but 3 weeks after the new year, I haven't seen or heard anything. So I'll be reaching out there to find out what's going on.
It looks like they're still doing quite a bit of work in there. The lights were on the other day at night, and it looks pretty bare in there yet. They are hiring. They're still looking for a few more. They reached out to the downtown businesses, either spoke to each one of them or dropped off some documentation or a pamphlet, just introducing themselves. And the downtown businesses were very happy with that, in that they're willing to come in and to talk to them and say they want to be a partner. You know, they don't want to compete. And the downtown businesses, you know, they think it's going to be a good thing.
Because I think in the paper it said the 28th was going to be their soft opening.
I think so. Yeah.
But, which is, well, that's 2 weeks yet. Or no, a week
8
from
days.
tomorrow.
They better start setting fixtures.
Week from tomorrow. Okay, and I just questioned, what's with the new garbage? Kind of snuck in, didn't it, or was it not?
Well, we should have done it earlier. I should have gotten the contract, the bids out earlier.
Oh,
I didn't realize they were coming up until a little bit late. So yeah, it was kind of fast tracked, but it's been 5 years with Advanced. And so it was time to rebid everything. And GFL, so GFL, Waste Management bought Advanced, and the SEC told the Waste Management, you're too big, you have to sell off some assets. And so GFL came in and basically bought what was Advanced, or some of their advanced business that Waste Management had bought. So a lot of Advanced staff, including David Meyer, who we've been dealing with for years, who I'm told is wonderful, and he has been so far with me too. He's the general manager, and they brought some office staff and some of the haulers even with them over to GFL. So GFL is not Advanced, but a lot of the same people, and they know Zumbrota well, and they were very eager to stay or be in Zumbrota. With their bid was phenomenal. The only thing I've run into is the commercial hauling. I got a couple of calls on that. So when I spoke to Neil about how these contracts were put together, the design for the commercial was they wanted 2 commercial haulers, 1 residential and then 2 commercial haulers, because he wanted competition with the commercial hauling. Didn't want the residential bidder to bid residential low and then hammer the businesses. Well, the businesses are still unhappy, or evidently the competition really isn't there. Waste Management was the second lowest bidder, so we've got GFL and Waste Management that we issued, or we will issue, commercial licenses to, and they seem to have the same prices for commercial hauling. So I don't know, we may need to look at that. I don't know if I can look at it for 5 years now, because the contracts are signed and done, but we may need to look at creating some more commercial competition in the future. And the whole design of the contracts was to keep as many trucks, big trucks, off the roads as we can. So there's not, 5 different companies driving through town every day, beating up the roads. So, but yeah, no, I think GFL will be wonderful. They've already delivered, or all the cans, the new cans, they're black and neon, well, not neon, but lime green lids. And they're all staged out by the water tower right now, and they're going to start delivering those pretty quick here. So we'll have 2 sets of cans for a week or so. Waste Management will pick up one last time on the 1st, and then that day and for the 2 or 3 days afterwards, they'll pick up the old cans.
okay.
And then GFL will be, but yeah, you have to fill out a form or call in. It's been in the paper. I think it'll be in the paper again this week. We've got forms out here to pick up, forms at the library. So try to make the process as easy as possible. And we're going to miss some people, always do. They don't go on the internet ever, or they're not reading the paper, or GFL decided not to do a mailing to every household. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure there'll be some growing pains. Hopefully they're minimal, given the fact that GFL has got the experience here in town, or those people do. So, but yeah.
Is there a notice that can go out in the water bill? Did it go out in the water bill? I don't ever open mine. I don't even know if I get it anymore. But
I know that.
Do you even have water? Did they shut your water off?
no, I just do it all online. So it's, so the water's here, so we're good.
It's not even an envelope. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
that's
even,
right.
so it's just a card.
But we can't put anything onto the card, any additional information.
We've tried to do that, and there just isn't very much space. Like, we've tried to do the reminders for like the dog licenses at the end of the year, and it doesn't show up on a card.
Got it. Maybe some, I don't know, flyers around town.
Yeah, hopefully word of mouth, and we'll see.
Or when they don't have garbage, I
Yeah,
guess they'll call.
or they got 4 sets of cans, that might set off a few alarms.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing is, everybody needs to leave there, on Monday next week or whatever the first is, everybody needs to leave their advanced cans out on the curb until they're gone. So hopefully people don't take them back, put them back.
Yeah.
Well, my kid will be excited.
Okay, anything else for the good of the group? If not, we will adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
Brian, I have a question for you yet.
Yes.
Does Brian know where that map is that you were gonna let me take?
Yes, it is. Brian, it's inside the office, leaning up against the window.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your computer or this one?